Alright, we are back. New audio setup today, at least microphone-wise. It's been a hot minute for me. For you guys, it'll be just a week. So we're going to continue on where we left off. So we're here with Alphanel, Aaronville, Alizé, Kryl, and Muklamot to do, I think, the next trial? From here on, also compare it with the last video, I believe I am only going to use, no, not use. I'm going to chop these down to like 1 hour vids, 1 hour videos, just because the upload time is super long. Oh, and by the way, you can probably already tell, but here's the new look. Yeah. I like it. I dyed it all blue, obviously, because I'm a blue boy. What can I say? Ready to head on in? I honestly don't know what we're doing either. That's the other thing. Our first task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully, our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us. Yeah, that would be an Alphino thing to say. Third promise in her retinue, I presume? You presume right. I seek the Dawn servants of Elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars. At the village center, everyone is waiting for you. The question is who else is here? Everyone? And who might that be? There is but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him. I see the first.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with a Ligarmanda in the first place.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. As a Brash Rash, I have the honor of serving as Elector on behalf of my people. As all four claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival. Third promise, if you would please join us. Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner. Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Twelve forbid Wuklamat is paired with Bakul Jaja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
Claimants, please present your colors. I have red. Blue. On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Red. Which means...
Together again, as fate would have it.
victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Not the one-head.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows. Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Shebrol cuisine. Shibruk Pibil.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future. The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques. Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster. Let the feat of repast begin.
I've never actually heard of Shibruk Bibil before. Delight, I wonder.
Alright, here we go. The team back together again. How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulation have frustrated Bakujaja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty strong, and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct disadvantage. Of course we do. Any team I'm on is, oh good lord, is bound to succeed. That's not what she meant. That's not what he meant. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers? Yes? Our competition has a team of 6. The 2 claimants, Sorelja and Bakujaja, as lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9. That's 3 more we can mobilize. With the task suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could have been easily avoided, like too many cooks in the kitchen. Our first order of business should be to determine the recipe for Ixbruk Pibil. These names are so hard. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Ixbral people. Let us gather here once we've seen what clues this village has to offer. And what 3 spots are we going to? The recipe of Ixbruk Pibil? I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. Orders from Hunmaruk himself. Haha. But your mentioning it has given me a first craving. I hope there's still Inkbruk to be had at the market. Wink, wink. Nice. What's that glowing? That one's called achiote. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine. Nice. But its medicinal benefits are significant as well. Okay. So it sounds like it's a bit of a soup. We're gonna cut our losses and head to Mamulk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if you think he won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house. Oh, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could it be a second time? Oh, great. What are you looking at, salt liquor? Mind your own business. That's not a good sign. That's definitely not a good sign. And I'm not exactly sure where the market is. Is it in here? Nope. A bright banana peel. And a cook. Oh, that's a really pretty banana peel. So it's smoked. Oh no, it appears I've gone and dropped my Jatika banana peel. I could barely see it for all the steam issuing from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves to cook your food. Okay, this is sounding a little on the Hawaiian side of things. I mean, I do say Hawaiian, but I think there are some Latin American variables with banana leaves that you can cook. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Inkbruk Pidbil? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us, directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish, and observing their techniques yielded clues enough. Lady blended local herbs and spices, was all too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming or denying any relation to I was going to call it the sea. Inkbruk. But one in particular she attributed to all common Inkbruk dishes. Achiote, she called it. I see. Then if Inkbruk is indeed a dish ambiguous as Alpha claims, we have confirmed cook burying bundles in a leaf of Naju or banana in certain localities. It would seem to be a subterranean oven is commonplace. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles then, don't we? As would be expected of a dish called Ixbrew Kabil, indeed. To surmise, this dish is one of Ixbrew, flavored with a combination of spices, including chote and steamed underground with naju or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must learn now where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Fankrit and I scouted the surrounding forest while you were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and the wild Ickbrook, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Leave it to the Master Gleaner. I still say he's related to them. With that, we should next divvy up our task. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I'll prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. I too should be glad to volunteer if I need. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I am happy to lead someone to a suitable Ickbrook if they will perform the requisite deed. Alize? As for the naju leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find nodule in these parts. They only grow in the Jatika heartland forest far below these. Such an excursion may be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamati, Sapphire, if you would accompany me on my errand. My appetite. Good, let us be about our task then. We're not going to warn them about the other group's idea of stealing our stone. Come on, let's go get those nodule leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can eat. Let's see if there are any nodule leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Oriange mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. And away we go. I do like the fact that I can now mount while running. That's a locked door. Oh, hello again. Do you need something? We were in need of Naju leaves. Naju leaves for purposes other than Ixbruk Pilby naturally? Unfortunately, I've used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forest for more. Galmarjik Grove is the source of the finest Naju leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see and city markets can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then to the Jatika heartland we go. Allow me to save you the trip. Huh? Traveling there requires you to go through the Tienbeck Traverse, but it has caved in due to the recent storm I expect. What? But that means we can't get our Naju leaves. But we can't we? If there were no other way to procure them, you would have suspended this feat, or else altered its objective. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. It's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You might find Ixbruk Pibble to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. Interesting. Huh, I can't wait. Very interesting. Still, if there are no leaves here and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? Our feat is meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and culture of Tulialal. So perhaps there is something about Ixbruk Pibble that we have yet to learn. Something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like, who was the first to make it, its history, that sort of thing. Ahem. If it's Yaktel's history you're interested in, you should start with the Old War. Between the Ixbral and the Mamuja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of what remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Ixbruk Pibul. Huh. What does it mean? What does steamed Ixbruk have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of the settlement ruined by the war. The village of Elon Yaso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Eon Asa. Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place. Okay, I don't like the change in the music like that. Just a little terrifying. Cool music nonetheless. Choose the animation. I got it. Let's do a fade just to up the XP a bit. Okay, I like that. It's really fun. Track. Do their gap closer ability, and then I do my gap closer. Or I should say they do their dash and I do my gap closer. Village of Ilyon must be further east. Let us continue without haste. For all we know, our competitors may be on our heels or ahead of us. Yeah, I'm not even gonna risk falling through the cenote. I'm not. What do I have for my mounts? Oh, I know I have more than that. enters the village. And I'm not fully at halfway. No, I'm probably about halfway to level 100. So this is the voice of Ilyon Aso, or what's left of it. It has a piece of light and it was a place of light and life. My grandfather called it home, in fact. Lukevu, I didn't know you were in Dawntrail. I was picking up lumber from Brox when I heard the Third Promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. That makes sense. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, so followed you here. Lukevu is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feast of Reeds. A pleasure. You're a member of the Third Promise's retinue, I presume? For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Kona. Now that's a good name. A familiar name. Where have I heard... Kona, as in the second promise of Tuliolol? To think I addressed the... I forgot he does this. To think I addressed the Dawn Servant's own son as some common retainer. Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please, take out your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. Alright then, I shan't dwell on it. And right on cue. At least he's consistent? I understand you wish to learn about Ixbrick Pabil. While I'm forbidden by the Ixbrox Rocks to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I would be happy to share what I know of Dawntrail's history. We'd appreciate that. In the most basic sense, the conflict between the Ixbral and the Mamulja was one of land. The Mamulja live in the lower forests, where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to cover the upper forests, the home of the Ixbral, and they launched a determined campaign to seize for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Ixbral forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But this village would attest the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well, blessed siblings. Oh. Family. You must understand, the Mamulja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with each other's. The Hobiko, Bunawa, and Dopra each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged the Ixbral in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hobiko and Bunewa leaders arranged the marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. But then it happened. A child who shared the blood of Hubigo, and Bonewa, both a two-headed Mamulsha. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually rising as the first Autarch, ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the Autarch's rule, a newly united Mamulsha became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think it best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. Wow. This place burned hard. Wait. I think it burned.
This is where most battles were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja, the Shobrit Cinder Field. A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been. The war over these lands began after the Yokui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence, a constant stream of minor skirmishes punctuated by massive slaughter. Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago. Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valley Armanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours. If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace.
Buff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill deserve the bounty of this forest. Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us. Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then? You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation, the guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
And so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Shabral steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more, their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Shabral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawn Servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn Servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Bibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong? Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures, and we're doing the same now. Alright, we're gonna end this here and continue the story in the next week. As per usual, be good to yourself, be good to others, take care of each other. Stay true to you. Laters.